Zuckerberg said Biden-Harris repeatedly pressured us to censor free speech. Now, I think they got sued over this, and the judge said that that the Biden Harris administration had nothing to do with the censorship. I had to go back and look at that that litigation, because I'm pretty sure they were sued and the judge said nah, said no. But now we got Mark Zuckerberg finally coming out and admitting what we already know, that Harris and Biden was censoring anything that had to do that was antithetical to their propaganda that they were spewing. Like I said, I'm just happy that he's finally admitting what we already knew, and thank God that the Ministry of Truth that Biden Harris was trying to put together end up getting tossed out, and they're going to continue to try to put together a group like the Ministry of Truth, where they can go in and government can tell these platforms to censor people just like they do over in Europe. But which I think there should be another law case. They need to bring forth Zuckerberg and Facebook, and they need to talk about exactly how the government is trying to circumvent our free speech by telling these tech companies to censor people. I mean, how is the government getting away with this? So we're going to talk a little bit about this. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I'll talk about things that I can't talk about here. Also, follow me on Instagram and X. All right, so let's talk about this news. Now, this comes from the Daily Wire's Ryan Silvatra, and he reports that Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg said in a letter on Monday that the Biden-Harris administration repeatedly pressured his company, which includes Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, WhatsApp, and more, to censor content that is protected free speech. Again, that is illegal what they're doing. Zuckerberg made the admission in a letter to House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan this week, in which he said that his goal moving forward was to, quote, be neutral and not play a role one way or another for either any political party or ideology. But we're still continuing to get censored and stuff on Facebook. They're still censoring us. That's exactly why I stay off of the platform. I will refuse to support that platform. I'm barely on Instagram. I can't stand it because you have to censor yourself, or you're gonna be or they're gonna censor you, which is just wrong. You should be able to say your beliefs and stand by your beliefs, and whatever repercussions happen from those beliefs, it is what it is. But we should have the right to say what we feel and what we think. But he said he doesn't even want the appearance of playing a role and will not be making political contributions. Quote, in 2021, senior officials from the Biden administration, including the White House, repeatedly pressured our teams for months to censor certain COVID-19 content, including humor and satire, and expressed a lot of frustration with our teams when we didn't agree. He said in a letter, ultimately, it was our decision whether or not to take content down. But come on, be for real. Who's going to go against the government? And we own our decisions, including COVID-19 related changes we made to our enforcement in the wake of this pressure. I believe the government pressure was wrong, and I regret that we were not more outspoken about it. He continued, I also think we made some choices that, with the benefit of hindsight and new information, we wouldn't make today. I mean, we know the stuff that they were censoring. I mean, heck, some of the same stuff YouTube was censoring. I can't even say some of the things of COVID-19 that are actual facts. I can't even state some of those things for fear of censorship from the powers that be. But he goes on to say, like I said to our teams at the time, I feel strongly that we should not compromise our content standards due to pressure from any administration in either direction, and we're ready to push back if something like this happens again. I don't believe it. The only way I see them pushing back is if Trump would do something like that, which he won't. Trump believes in free speech, but I don't see them ever pushing back against Harris or Biden. He said that the company made a mistake by temporarily demoting a New York Post story during the 2020 election about Hunter Biden's laptop after officials falsely suggested that it was part of Russian disinformation operation. But even if it was disinformation, why is that something you would censor? You should be able to have credible people on to dispute that and talk about those things. That's what discourse is about. But they didn't want that. They didn't want you to be able to sit down and debate these issues. He goes on to say, it's since been made clear that the reporting was not Russian disinformation, and in retrospect, we shouldn't have demoted the story, he said. We've changed our policies and processes to make sure this doesn't happen again. For instance, we no longer temporarily demote things in the U.S. while waiting for fact checkers. He said that so you keep it up until the fact checkers say that is misinformation or disinformation. You know, the fact checkers still work. The majority of the fact checkers, they work for the Democratic Party. So they're gonna, if it's anything against their propaganda, they're gonna call it fake. They're gonna call it untrue. But he said that he does not plan on making any political contributions during this cycle after he gave money to support electoral infrastructure in 2020 that led to accusations that he was trying to help Democrats because of where the money was reportedly deployed. He said, quote, my goal is to be neutral and not play a role one way or the other, or to even appear to be playing the role, he said. So I don't plan on making a similar contribution this cycle. But we shall see. I don't trust any of these companies, let alone Mark Zuckerberg. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.